Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another music review. This is Bryce, and we're going to be moving on to another artist now. We just finished for King and Country, and we are now going to be taking a look at one of my favorite groups of recent years. Um, these guys are an absolute joy to listen to. I might have a little bit of bias for their music. I really don't care. It is the Sidewalk Prophets. These guys are just. These guys are phenomenal. I don't have enough good things to say about these guys. But let me first introduce you to the group itself. On lead vocals, we have Mr. Dave Frey. On guitars, Ben McDonald. On drums, Justin Nace. I hope that's how you pronounce your last name. Justin, if you ever listen to this, if I mispronounced it, sorry, dude. Um, and on bass, we have Cal Jocelyn. So that is the group, and these guys, um, these guys have produced like some of my favorite songs in recent years. Like, as if I could ever have enough favorites, but a lot of them from in the last few years have been coming from these guys. Well, I'll talk about them over the course of the next few reviews. So, um, a fun fact about Sidewalk Prophets: I saw them live at a Casting Crowns concert, and actually, come to find out, these guys have actually been together uh, for quite a few number of years, like well before they started releasing, you know, mainstream albums or anything like that. I mean, they were talking about how they all went to college together or something like that, and they used to do like acoustic uh, sessions for people while they were in college, and so they've actually been together for a while, and so I thought that was pretty cool. It's a little bit of fun facts that you don't normally learn. Um, so their first album, though, that they at least as far as first known album, I don't know if they ever recorded anything prior to this, but as far as the first like mainstream main release kind of album that they put out was in 2011. It was published by Word Entertainment, and that's cool because we just got done doing For King Country, like I said at the start, and they were, well, they still are, but they go through Word Entertainment as well. So that's really cool too. We got another artist from them. So this first album is called These Simple Truths, and there was an original release for it, and then there was a deluxe edition for it. And the deluxe edition has an extra song plus a couple of the other songs that were, I guess, re-recorded at Leland House Productions, I think is where it is. But they're called the Leland House Sessions, is what it's what they got in parentheses next to the things, and it's just re-recordings of the stuff. I've never actually taken the time to listen to them, but generally a lot of re-recorded stuff like that. It tends to be a little bit more on the acoustic side, generally. Not always, but because I remember like when Stephen Curtis Chapman did like the Abbey Road versions of a couple of his songs. Well, this was a long while back ago. They kind of were a little bit more acoustic, and no offense to Stephen Curtis Chapman, but I didn't like them at all. They were, I thought they were kind of awful, but anyway, that's another story. Um, so on this first album, These Simple Truths, you will also find on the back that there is not one song called These Simple Truths. And we'll get into where that title then comes from as we go over the songs. But the first one is Just Might Change Your Life. This one's really good. It's got kind of a driving beat to it. It really, that driving beat really sets up the style of this particular song well. And I should note too, Sidewalk Prophets has got they're have they have a style that's pretty much theirs. But these guys, as far as their musicality, though, they can play in all different kinds of musical styles. I mean, these guys are extremely talented, and so there's not really anything necessarily that they just stick to, but there is also kind of a thing that they go back to a lot, and it's actually kind of splits between their driving songs and their a little bit more intimate songs. But anyway, as far as the driving songs go, this sets up perfectly, just about what it's like. And the vocals are extremely powerful. Dave Frey, man, this guy has got a set of pipes on him. This dude is probably one of the most powerful singers that I've heard in the last, yay many years. I mean, the guy's extremely talented. I'll give him that. Great lyrics, very thought-provoking lyrics. The music is very strong. The lyrics essentially, it's just the singer is addressing to the listener. The listener's in a situation where they're at a point in their lives where they're toying with accepting Christ or not, but the bottom line is that for one reason or another, they're afraid to do it. And so ultimately they're afraid that it just might change their life. And even in the chorus, he's like, you're on the edge, just take a step, and if they would, it literally just might change their life. So I mean, it's a good song, very good start to this album. The next song is "Show Me How to Love." This is the kind of song that I can jam to while at the same time simultaneously, just raising my hands as well. This song in particular, I mean, it's the singer is singing to or about rather the fact that he's looking around, he's noticing life is very common, is very routine, and it's starting to bother him because he's basically asking the questions like, we're supposed to be a Christian family here. Why doesn't it seem like it? And so for his part in the chorus, he's confessing to God, I've been blind to this. I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. He's asking God to show him how to love, and I think it's an appropriate song for nowadays because I honestly don't think a lot of people know how to show the love of Christ. I really don't. A lot of it is very routine, like he was saying, and it's just, it's like you come to a point, but you're afraid to cross the barriers almost. I mean, it's essentially what he's saying, and it's just, it's just not good enough. So this song, very powerful. I like it a lot. You Can Have Me is the next song, and once again, another great song. This time the singer is he's asking himself, Jesus, and the audience, um, if his life ever came to a point where, well, not if it would ever, because I think it has in a sense, but I guess what I mean, he's asking the question of, like the first verse starts off with, if I saw you on the street and you said, come and follow me, would I give up, or would I give you everything, or give up everything, something like that. But I mean, that really is the point. It's actually a great prelude. It's a great foreshadowing to another song that Sidewalk Prophets will put out. Many of you might be able to come up with what that song is, but I'm not going to spoil it just yet. We'll get to it, though. Trust me, we'll get to it. But I mean, this really is an important issue. It's a question he's asking himself, but he's also asking to the audience. If this is you, will you do this? And the chorus. God, I love the chorus. Asking the questions: when did love become unmoving? When did love become unconsuming? In other words, going back to the previous song, trying to identify what the love of Christ is. Well, take that frame into this song. When did love, aka that love of Christ, when did it become unmoving? In other words, Jesus showed all this love for us. Why am I not showing that love back to him? That's essentially what he's asking. And so resolving right then and there, the singer says, Father of love, you can have me. I'm just thinking about that for a second, just giving up everything, saying you can have me. It seems like a really radical idea, but is that not what we're supposed to do as Christians? Just food for thought. I could spend all day talking about that, but we got to move on here. The Words I Would Say is the next song, and I believe this was one of the singles from the track, and if it wasn't, I would be immensely surprised. There's just about all of these could be singles for real. This is a great example of how you can share encouragement with a friend. It's basically, it's a song of, from one friend to another, basically letting them know that you're thinking of them, just giving them just little words of encouragement, things like that. And I actually had, I'm going to share a little bit of an experience with you. This is where, or I actually had a very similar situation to the song in the sense that, like, at the time, let's see, I had a friend of mine whose father passed away a couple years ago. It was in the summer, and at that time I was still working an overnight shift at Walmart, and I went to the funeral and everything, and then one night I was up because I didn't want to wreck my sleep cycle or anything, and I was up. It was about 3 a.m, just like the song said, 3 a.m, and I'm still awake. And just like the song, I just started writing some. Just, I don't want to use condolence because that's where it kind of sounds overrated, but I just kind of started writing stuff down for her and her family, and it was essentially living out what the song was saying. It just was. I got to thinking about it a little bit later after I sent the letter. I was like, wow, that's kind of eerie. So almost verbatim what the song goes through is essentially what I got to do for her. So I mean, it was pretty something else. So that song personally means a lot to me. It's also where the title "These Simple Truths" come from, because the simple truths that the singer is talking about is the chorus of the words I would say, but it's preluded with these simple truths. It's like these simple truths. He's saying, if I was writing you, I would tell you just what you mean to me and tell you these simple truths. And then goes in the chorus: be strong in the Lord, never give up hope, etc. Yeah, so I can't say enough good things about that song, how much it actually means to me and all that. Alright, so moving on, track 5, Moving All the While. This is an interesting one. It almost kind of sounds like a hymn, just with added instrumentation. I mean, it's really, it's a good song for a lot of people who hate modern Christian music, and we're devil worshippers because we have drums, bass, and guitar, and even in some churches, piano. We're devil worshippers because we're not strict robots when we worship. That kind of thing. This song might actually be for you because it actually sounds more hymnal-like. However, it just has instrumentation, so you might still think that we're devil worshippers, but going off on a tangent here. Basically, it's a really simple hymn of praising the fact that God's hand is in everything, basically. I mean, just even in those moments where we don't understand, we start to question, His hand is still in it. He was moving all the while. So, that's how that comes full circle. Track 6, For What It's Worth. The style is kind of similar to You Can Have Me, maybe a little bit more musicality to it, but it's pretty similar. Basically, the singer is being reminded of his value without Jesus, and that's best can be summed up again in the chorus. The very last couple lines, he's saying, I can only live my life for what it's worth. But, and he spends the rest of the song singing, what his life is exactly worth without Jesus. That, I won't spoil the rest of that one. I think you should go and listen to it. It's definitely worth listening to. Next song, track 7, You Love Me Anyway. This is the big single from this album. This is the one that everyone really stops and thinks about, and I can completely understand why. Absolutely beautiful music. It's just piano at the beginning. It blends really well with not only the singer's voice, but the singer's passion that he has in his voice. It's you can tell there's just pure, unadulterated passion and zeal for God in all the songs, but in this song in particular. And it's basically the message for every mistake that we make. God still loves us. It's just, and that really is personified in the bridge. I mean, the bridge, oh my Lord, it was a heart-stopping kind of a bridge. I mean, this is few songs have ever actually made me cry. I'm not a crier. This song actually made me cry because um the realization of, our former identities as sinners, just it's summed up in the bridge, and yet this is still the demonstration of Christ's love for us. The fact that we were the thorn in his crown, we were the sweat from his brow, the nails in his wrist. The one that really got me was Judas's kiss, and that, we're so critical of the Jewish people. Well, a lot of people are, replacement theology people are, and even some other people too. They get, they're the Jews killed and their own Messiah kind of bit, and it's like this song, but this song reminds us too that they weren't the only ones who put him up on that cross. Everyone has fallen short of the glory of God. Everyone put him up on that cross. I was the man yelling out from the crowd for his blood to be spilled, is what the song is saying. And we got joy out of it because like the song said, the sin in our heart tried to bury his grace. I don't know what else can be said about that. But yet in all of that, he still loved us anyway. That grace is still there. That salvation is still there for anyone who wants it. That's just an amazing demonstration of his love. Okay, I gotta move on. All Things New. This one, style-wise, is very similar to For What It's Worth. The song is basically about the transformation that Jesus brings a person. It's once again, it's a really good song. There's not. I don't want to give too much away on all these different songs, but that one's that one's really good. I'm gonna move on. You Will Never Leave Me. The title is pretty self-explanatory. I don't think I really need to go into that. The tempo of this song kind of picks up to just about the same tempo as Just Might Change Your Life. So that way, you got a nice balance in the album. Next you have Give It All Away, and this one carries the same theme of You Can Have Me, in the sense of you're giving everything that you held dear away, basically, for Jesus, and the style is also similar to You Can Have Me as well. Lay Down My Life is next, and that is from the perspective. It's actually from the perspective of Jesus, about what he did and the salvation that he offers, and so those are always really fun to listen to, because I think that songs like that are actually genuinely inspired, as if none of the other ones are, but I think, and those are really personal, because to get in, to write a song and sing a song from the perspective of Jesus, you really have to dig deep and study and find out, pray, just how did you feel about this? How, what do you want to say about this? That kind of thing. So that's worth checking out. The last song on here is it's on the deluxe album only, and I don't remember if this ever got released as a single or not. If it did, or if it did not, I don't know what the radio stations were thinking. But this one's really interesting music style wise, because it'll go from like a straight beat that is almost pretty driving, and yet when it goes to the chorus though, it switches to halftime, which is really interesting. So as far as the lyrics go, it tells two stories of broken lives, and it's a reminder to them and also to anyone else who's listening that they are still loved. Not much else you can say about it, but it's definitely a song that's worth looking at, because once again, just like with You Love Me Anyway, I think people really need that reminder sometimes that they are genuinely loved. Now, he's not singing the song from a perspective of it's Jesus singing the song, because Jesus obviously would not have to say the lyrics, I don't know how you've been broken, because there's nothing that Jesus doesn't know. So this is from one person to another, but again, though, it's good to hear from other people, as well, that listen, I don't know what's going on in your life, but I love you, but more importantly, God still loves you. So, and then like the chorus says, so when your world is torn and shattered, all your dreams are left undone, no matter what may come, just know that you are loved. And it's a great way to end the album. It's a great thing to leave off with, and that is These Simple Truths. And I'll tell you what, you guys, it's hard to pick favorites on these, because I love just about every single one of them. I see I've got marked on here, Just Might Change Your Life, Show Me How to Love, You Can Have Me, The Words I Would Say, You Love Me Anyway, and Know That You're Loved. I think that's a record 6 favorites. And yet at the same time, I still love other ones on this one. I like Moving All the While, For What It's Worth, All Things New. That's the thing about Sidewalk Prophets, and you'll notice it even more with the upcoming albums, is the fact that there's really... I have the songs that I'll go back and listen to more times. Like, I'll probably listen to You Love Me Anyway more times than I will For What It's Worth. But it's at the same time, it's just like there's... It's a situation where it's just like, I'm not just saying, oh yeah, you should check out all the songs on here. I'm like, no, for each and every single one of these, you really need to check these things out at least once. If you never listen to them again or whatever, that's your thing. But like, I'm telling you right now, you need to go listen to these songs. And I say that with them because for whatever reason, it's like they just... I don't know if it's just in the writing process or the recording process, but there's something from them that the Holy Spirit is really blessing that I'm not finding in other Christian music artists. And for whatever reason, these guys are really standing out, and I think personally, I think a lot of it is in the lyrics themselves, and then how the music amplifies those lyrics. I can't seem to talk today, but and this is just the first album. The next couple albums, as we'll get to, man, they never fail to impress me. And I'm not trying to lift these guys up, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying these guys are really these guys are really humbling themselves to be used by God, and God is responding to that. And with each and every album that they're coming out with, they just they get more powerful. They get more. Um, they just get even more awesome as they go along. So I mean, this is not appraisal of these guys so much as it is. It's just God is working tremendously through them, and I'm very, very happy that these guys exist. I've been going on long enough as it is anyway, though. So I'm going to go ahead and end this off here. As I've said probably about 15 times already, we're going to continue moving on with Sidewalk Prophets on the next music review. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and once again, I hope you seriously check out these guys. Can't say enough good things about their music. So, anyway, we're gonna go ahead and end this off. Thank you very much for listening. My name is Bryce, and I will see you next time.